Hello and welcome to the season that was, brought to you by AAMI. I'm Riley Beveridge. This is Kane Cornes. Today we are looking at Hawthorn's season, and Kane, what a campaign it was for the Hawks.
Yeah, it was an amazing home and away season. There's no doubt about that. Who would have thought that they would have been in a position? This is some of the exciting football that they play. One of the most watchable teams to watch this year, and just their game style stacks up. So incredible at ground level. Really not a weakness in any aspect of their game that they really need to go to school on. But they'd be pretty pleased with what went down. Their small forwards were electric. Their run across half-back and through their wings, their ball use was as good as any. I guess the only downer on their season was that they didn't go further, because they certainly had the team and the statistical profile to go a lot deeper than a semi-final exit.
Can they win it next year?
Yeah, I think they'll start premiership favourites. You add Barras and Battle into this lineup, get Mitch Lewis back, Blank back, Will Day back. There isn't going to be a list as stacked as this one with the game style that they've got. They've got a great coach. Hard to find really good coaches. They've got one, so they know, and they've built some confidence off winning a final. So they're in a really, really good position.
They certainly are. They'll need to improve their record against top 8 sides in 2025, though. If you have a look here, they were 4-5 against top 8 sides this season. There's not many problems for Hawthorn. This is potentially one of them, but you can even see there a lot of these were early in the season when their record wasn't stacking.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't have lost that round 10-1 to Port Adelaide, so there's one that they should have won 40-something points up, and the
Same
one in round 21 against the Giants was the same. So, I mean, you play against the good sides, your record clearly is not going to be as good as against the bottom side. So we're being really picky with that because of the form that they were in. The fact that they started 0-5 is probably another area they'll look to jump out the blocks a bit quicker. But this team's going to be on the primetime stage. I suspect they're going to get a lot of Thursday night games. They'll get Friday night games. They'll get a lot of nighttime football, but that won't phase them. We saw when they played in front of big crowds and in big finals, they acquitted themselves really well.
Let's have a look at Hawthorn's best moment of the season, and it was their elimination final victory over the Western Bulldogs, their first finals win in 9 years, and this was the pinnacle of what they achieved.
Yeah, they were great. Exactly what they would have hoped for going into this game. All the talk was about the Western Bulldogs' tall forwards. They completely nullified those. Their midfield was enormous without Will Day in this game. They had Shadir kick 3 goals. They had the Wizard Watson kick 4 in his first final, so some young players really emerging. So yeah, they're going to be in for a pretty exciting ride, I would have thought, in the next 3 to 4 years.
Their season star could be none other than Dylan Moore, an All-Australian. It's hard to believe this man was delisted and re-rookied by Hawthorn just a few years ago. 36 goals and 33 goal assists, just about the best half forward in the comp.
Yeah, huge numbers. I mean, he plays the hardest position on the ground. I love the way that Sam Mitchell uses him, though. Like, gives him that licence to get up the ground and get involved. That's why the 19.5 disposals come from. But he doesn't waste them, like 7.2 score involvements, and he's really courageous. But I think he's a team-first player. He's probably, with Will Day, their best player, although there's some young ones that are going to go past him pretty quickly. Connor McDonald and Nick Watson, I would have thought, but a much-deserved All-Australian blazer. Disappointing final series, got to be said. His 2 finals were certainly below the levels that he produced in the home and away season. So that should motivate him to have another big pre-season.
Didn't go wrong in many areas. What have you given him for a grade?
Yeah, A-, because I just thought they're never going to get a better opportunity to progress through to a prelim final. They had a Port Adelaide side absolutely on their knees, personnel-wise, and you stack up talent for talent, those 2 teams that played in that semi-final, and there's no way that Hawthorn should have dropped that. They had the benefit of getting some really favourable umpiring decisions that led to goals. So that's the only reason it's not an A or an A+, but yeah, you just never know when these opportunities are going to come around again, and they certainly squandered one.
Exciting times ahead for the Hawks. Stick around on afl.com.au. We are wrapping up every team's 2024 season on the season that was.